Aubrey McClendon, one of the best-known architects of the U.S. shale boom, indicted by a federal grand jury Tuesday on conspiracy charges linked to rigging the price of oil and gas leases in Oklahoma. Mr. McClendon is the only person named in the indictment for activities which date from 2007 through 2012, when he was chief executive of Chesapeake Energy Corporation. Here with more details is WSJ's special writer, Greg Zuckerman. Hi, Greg. Thanks for being with us.
Great to be here.
Now, you, of course, wrote a book about this industry, The Frackers, which features Mr. McClendon. Do any of these charges surprise you?
Well, he's an aggressive guy, so taking a step back, there are a few people that are bigger pioneers of this revolution than Aubrey. He saw the possibility, when all the experts didn't, that we could produce lots of oil and gas from shale, a type of rock formation that had been long dismissed by the experts and the giants. So to his credit, he's the reason we're paying so little, or he's among the reasons we're paying so little at the pump and for our natural gas. That said, he always had an aggressive strategy. So that was leasing everywhere. That was building a hedge fund where he invested his own money. That was borrowing money, his own money, and betting even more on his shares. So he's an aggressive guy, but this is a little bit surprising, yeah.
Did you see evidence then that the industry was playing a little fast and loose with the rules? I mean, you were looking at them when they were pioneers.
Yeah, well, they played fast and loose in that they had sharp elbows and they pushed out competitors for really prime acreage. But in terms of breaking the law, I mean, one could argue maybe they were too aggressive, but I didn't see evidence of breaking the law.
Right,
no.
right. Now, he is the only person named in this indictment, but, you know, when it comes to price fixing, it takes at least two to tango. So does this suggest the other company is cooperating with investigators?
Yeah, I find it fascinating. So on Wall Street, when people get in trouble, it's always the banks and the shareholders of the banks that pay, and it's never guys in the executive suite. Here, it's the opposite, where it's only the CEO or the ex-CEO, the ex-founder of Chesapeake Energy, and the company is cooperating, and they conspired with someone else. I agree, and we're not hearing about them. So it's fascinating. Either justice has changed their approach, and they're really going after executives, or for whatever reason, they're seizing on Aubrey, and they're going after Aubrey.
And McClendon was ousted from his CEO position in 2013 by a group of shareholders led by Icahn. What has he been up to since then, and how is he viewed in the industry now?
So he's a resilient, charismatic, really smart guy, and he got kicked out of Chesapeake, as you suggest, even though he founded the company, and he started all over again. So he got financing somehow. People were shocked that he was able to. He raised billions of dollars from smart investors and went and leased acreage, really good acreage in places like Ohio. But then oil and gas prices collapsed, so he's got new pressure. So this is sort of the last thing he and the industry need. I mean, this is a justice, oil and gas dedicated probe. So again, just sort of the last thing they need with oil and gas prices being where they are.
And didn't Chesapeake last year accuse him of actually stealing documents from Chesapeake to start this new company? Has there been any resolution with that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So there's no love lost between them. In some ways, Chesapeake has been cleaning up the mess left by Aubrey. Again, a real visionary, and we have a lot to thank him for. The reason why there's pressure on the Iranians and the Russians, in part, it's because of Aubrey McClendon. But yeah, he left a mess at the company, and there's still some antagonistic feelings. Now,
does this suggest that there will be more regulation and oversight of the shale industry going forward?
I don't think so. I think it's more, this is a price issue. So maybe in terms of pricing, yeah. I mean, one can argue, and Aubrey has argued, that a lot of this kind of stuff has been going on for years. He says it's the first time in 110 years that someone has been charged with antitrust violations for something like this. That said, I think some of the emails seem to suggest that he was personally involved. So there's a line that maybe he crossed, but the question is how many others come close to crossing it.
And of course, McClendon denies any wrongdoing.
Exactly, and we'll see. He may have his day in court, and we'll see how that plays out.
All right, Greg Zuckerman, thank you so much for that.
Sure.